Hey, this is Christina, otherwise known as the Marketing Blondie, and I make videos about social media and digital marketing and internet marketing for online coaches, experts and educators who want to grow an audience and make more sales online. So if that sounds like you, you are in the right place. I don't edit these videos, we're just going to get straight into it. The information in here is designed to be very clear and concise, and I speak very quickly. So if you are here for my best content creation tips for your business, then you're in the right place. In the next few minutes, I'm going to give you my tips which make content creation for me easier, cheaper, and just something that I don't end up putting off, or something that I don't end up that doesn't end up overwhelming me or kind of burning me out. Because as somebody who is I'm bootstrapping my business at the moment, right? Like if you're starting out, or you're growing a business from scratch, or you're like a solopreneur at the moment, you don't have a ton of money to go and spend on content creation, you don't have a ton of time to be creating content, editing it, and doing all the good stuff. You basically just want to make sure that the content is serving and delivering and really, really hitting your dream clients where you want it to hit them, but also just it doesn't need to have all the bells and the whistles, I just need it to get the job done. So that's what we're here for today. So what I'm gonna tell you about, this is gonna sound a little bit weird. So I see my content creation almost as like a little journal, like a little diary. So before you get to the point where you can just start banging out insane pieces of content like all the time, you're gonna have to probably put like a week or so, or maybe even a couple of weeks of kind of the process in just before that. And what that process is gonna look like is you basically just having a content bank of ideas, but it's pretty much more like a journal, like a diary, right? So every day you're gonna wake up and you're gonna think, you're gonna be thinking about your business. If you're as passionate about your business as I think you are, as I know you are, then you are gonna be 10 to 20 thoughts are gonna pop into your head every day about your business. Something to do with the framework that you teach, something to do with a mindset issue, something to do with a problem that you had or that you have and that you solved, or that you're working towards solving, and that you know that other people probably have that problem as well. The problem is that what most of us do when we get those thoughts is that we do nothing with them. They're a fleeting thought. They enter your head, you think about it for a few minutes, and then it's gone. And you probably cannot even remember that you thought about it. And then what happens is that once a week or once a month, when you go to sit down and batch create your content, you can't think of a single idea. And that's maybe because you're just not in your creative zone, you're not in your creative genius, you're just not vibing that day. And then you're like, oh my goodness, why is creating content so hard? When really you've actually had a ton of ideas every single day. You're just not doing anything with them. So that's why every single day you need to have something accessible to you. So your content bank needs to be somewhere accessible to you where you can jot down all of the things that you think about your business on a daily basis. I have never ever heard anyone else share this advice. Maybe it's because it's completely nuts. But what I do know is that it bloody well works. So what you're gonna do is every single day, you're going to have your content bank. Maybe my content bank personally is on my MacBook Air because I'm at home all the time. I've got 2 kids, I do the nursery drop off, and then my baby needs a nap and stuff, so I'm always at home, I'm never really out. So my laptop is always open in a room in my house, and as soon as I get an idea, I go and I jot it down in my content bank, which is on a Google Doc. Recently, what I've been finding works well for me where time permits and environment permits is that if I do get a really good idea, I will take myself somewhere quiet and I will pull out my phone and I will record a voice memo in the style of a podcast. Because at least then I have that there and I could post that as a podcast if I wanted to. I haven't actually posted, I haven't got a podcast yet, but I have a load of podcast episodes of content. And I can now use that content that's stored in the voice memo section of my phone as ideas for other content, for filming videos like this, for making Canva posts for Instagram, for doing a long form blog post if I wanted to. I don't do that yet, but it's probably going to have to be something that I'm going to do. Probably going to be something that I'm going to have to do. But I have it all in my bank now, rather than it's like all in my head and I have these thoughts and then they just go and then I sit down and I can't think of anything for my content bank. It needs to become a habit, is basically what I'm saying. If you didn't come here today to learn a new habit, I'm very, very sorry. You can click off this video now and go and try and find another one to help you. But that is my best content creation tip, because I struggled so much, like months. Sometimes I would sit down and I would be able to bang out a load of great content in a day. That happened about once. And then once I was done posting that content, I had nothing else. And I could not get into the creative zone again and try and find more content ideas. And the when it changed for me was when I started doing this. I just started, it's impromptu, I guess. Now, if you are a very, very busy person, I am a mum of 2, 1 and a 3-year-old, and it's just me at home as well. So I am busy, but I am typically usually in an environment where I can make a note on my MacBook, or I can put it in the notes section of my iPhone, or I can record. If you are typically going to be in an environment when you can't do that, maybe you're at work or something like that. I mean, if you're at work, if you're in a working environment where you've got your phone on you, then put it in the notes section of your phone. If you can even write it down on a notepad and pen, like I can't really think of any job situation where you might either not have your phone in your pocket, where you could at least, even if you do a voice note that's not recorded as if it was a podcast episode, but if it was just quickly recorded, like, just had a thought about this, remember to mention this later, boom, back in your pocket. I don't know if you can do that. You can run into like the staff room or something and like jot something down on like a pen and, a notepad and paper, or something like that. Just make things easier for yourself. Make it easier, make it attractive, make it obvious, make it make it easier. That's one thing. That's just business. When you're starting out in business as a beginner, my biggest kind of mantra is to make it easy and make it something that you like, because you're not going to do it if it's not easy, and you're also not going to do it if you don't enjoy it. So I don't want to sit down and create a ton of content at one time in one day. I just don't. I'd rather do it a bit more on a whim, and then if I've got my content bank and all my ideas on a whim, then when I go to sit down and create it all, because it's already there, so it's very, very easy for me, but I'm not sat there thinking about the ideas. So I hope that helped you when it comes to my greatest tip for content creation. If you're still here and you watched it all the way to the end, big thumbs up, thank you so much. Subscribe and hit the notification bell, so that you know when I post a new video about social media and internet marketing for online coaches, experts and educators. And I'll see you in the next video.